Jey Uso spotted crying uncontrollably after WWE SummerSlam 2023 went off-air. Biggest questions from WWE SummerSlam 2023. Finn Balor to never win a World Championship in WWE again. Update on Brock Lesnar's WWE future after SummerSlam. The Rock to return to exact revenge on Roman Reigns for Jey Uso's loss at SummerSlam. Jey Uso's betrayal of Jey was years in the making. Let's jump right into it. Biggest questions from WWE SummerSlam 2023. Aside from a lack of surprise returns, WWE SummerSlam 2023 lived up to the hype as fans were treated to an amazing evening of incredible in-ring action and cinematic storytelling. From heart-wrenching betrayals to surprise cash-ins and increasing tension, the PLE had much to offer. However, it did offer plenty of cliffhangers that demand an explanation. On that note, let's look at 4 of the biggest questions coming out of WWE SummerSlam 2023. Number 4, following the endorsement at WWE SummerSlam 2023, is Brock Lesnar a babyface? Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar was a war. 70% of the match was a merciless Lesnar beatdown, like most matchups involving the Beast incarnate. Despite the mauling of a lifetime, the American Nightmare survived the onslaught and executed 3 crossroads to defeat Lesnar and close the chapter. His endearing performance won him quite a few supporters, including the Beast incarnate. Following his victory, the Conqueror stared down his former rival. After the intense moment, he shook Rhodes' hand and raised his arm. This was an effective way of putting the American Nightmare over, but it also raises questions about Lesnar's character moving forward. Was this just a rare glimpse of Lesnar's soft side, or is WWE grooming him for yet another face turn? We should get an answer once the Beast returns to television. Number 3, were time constraints the problem? The most unfortunate news heading into WWE SummerSlam 2023 was the company inexplicably pulling 2 women's matches from the card. Becky Lynch as Trish Stratus and Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez were pulled owing to time constraint. Considering the length of many matches on the card, WWE could have easily made room for at least one of these matchups. Logan Paul's Ricochet could have been kept under 15 minutes without dragging the quality of the match down. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso could have easily told an equally compelling story in under 30 minutes, yet the company gave both matches more time than required. Let's hope that these eventual women's matchups are equally good, if not better, than most matches at WWE SummerSlam 2023. Number 2, is the Judgment Day on the verge of implosion? As expected, the Judgment Day got involved in the World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth freaking Rollins and Finn Balor. However, the faction ended up handing the victory to the Visionary. Center Money in the Bank, Damian Priest slid his briefcase into the ring. A cunning Rollins took advantage and stomped Balor's skull into the case to retain his championship. This is the second time Priest has inadvertently cost Balor the World Heavyweight title. There was tension following the confusion in London. We can only expect the animosity to grow. However, considering how well they have functioned as a team, it may be too soon to split the faction. Therefore, the question remains without a definitive answer. Number 1, why Jimmy Why? After a Herculean effort and a wave of emotion, Jey Uso was half a second away from defeating Roman Reigns and making history. However, a returning Jimmy Uso, his own twin brother, pulled him out of the ring and broke his heart with a superkick. This allowed the head of the table to take advantage and spear the former right-hand man to retain his championship and the title of Tribal Chief at WWE SummerSlam 2023. Out of all the things that could have gone wrong, Jimmy betraying his own brother Jey was least expected. The former SmackDown Tag Team Champion now owes everyone an explanation. Jimmy was the first of the Usos to stand up to Reigns' tyranny. It's possible that the Wise Man and the Tribal Chief could have gotten into his head, but we need a definitive answer. Finn Balor to never win a World Championship in WWE again. WWE superstar Finn Balor suffered defeat in another title match at SummerSlam 2023, and fans believe he may never get to win the gold again. Finn Balor was involved in an intense rivalry with Seth Rollins over the past few months and intended to dethrone the Architect at SummerSlam. They locked horns in an epic match with the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Both superstars took turns dominating the bout, accounting for numerous memorable near falls. However, all changed when other Judgment Day members, Rhea Ripley, Dominic Mysterio, and most importantly, Center Money in the Bank Damian Priest, made their way to the ringside. Balor was taken aback by Priest's presence, questioning his intentions regarding a potential cash-in. The match's final moments saw the Archer of Infamy leave his MITB briefcase inside the ring while he distracted the referee. But before Balor could use the case, Rollins hit him with a stomp as he slammed the former's face into the box, pinning him to retain the title. While the finish to the World Heavyweight Championship has left room for a massive feud between Damian Priest and Finn Balor, fans have another concern about the latter's future. It appears that the Prince's loss at SummerSlam has convinced several in the WWE universe that he may never get to win the World Championship again. Many argue that Balor should have won the title for his story to come to a full circle 7 years after he was forced to relinquish the Universal Championship. Others noted that he hadn't won big matches over the last couple of years and suffered huge losses in all his significant rivalry. Although Balor didn't win the match, fans unanimously hailed him for his performance against the Architect. Several in the WWE universe agree that Rollins versus Balor at SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight Championship was the best of the night and possibly the finest WWE match of the year. Throughout his appearance at SummerSlam, Damian Priest insisted he wasn't there to sabotage Finn Balor's momentum. However, the Prince wasn't convinced, and he won't be blamed if he holds Priest responsible for another loss against Seth Rollins in a title match. The tensions between Balor and Priest will be at an all-time high when the group meets on Monday Night Raw. Only this time, it would be difficult to squash the heat, which could lead to the Judgment Day's implosion. Update on Brock Lesnar's WWE future after SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar seemingly wrapped up his feud with Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, and the post-match moment has sparked rumors of a possible retirement. For those wondering whether he's done, the latest backstage report on the Beast Incarnate's status has now disputed the speculation. The former WWE champion faced Cody Rhodes in the rubber match at the recently concluded SummerSlam PLE, and it ended up being one of the most impressive contests of the evening in Detroit. In a rare moment that was allegedly unplanned, Lesnar showed Rhodes respect despite losing to the American Nightmare, and it made fans think about Brock's future in the ring. The 46-year-old taking his gloves off was also seen as a potential hint about him being done with wrestling, but that's far from the truth. Dave Meltzer revealed on Wrestling Observer Radio that Brock Lesnar is expected to return after another brief hiatus. It was noted that Lesnar is advertised for Fastlane, which is scheduled for October 7th, 2023, and while it's not confirmed, he could make his comeback around that time. He's advertised for Fastlane, so I don't know if that's when he returns. He's not. He's going to be gone for a little while, was what I was told, but not a long while, whatever that means, said Meltzer. The grudge match between the top WWE stars went second on the SummerSlam card, following Logan Paul and Ricochet's viral opener. The former AEW star got in some offense early on as he landed a few disaster kicks and even evaded Brock Lesnar's attacks. It, however, didn't take long for the Beast to assert his dominance. There was a phase in the match where Lesnar toyed around with Rhodes and ragdolled him across the ring. The physical punishment worsened for Cody as he was sent crashing through the announcer's table with an F5. The final moments of the showdown saw Cody Rhodes give Brock Lesnar a taste of his own medicine by executing a Kimura lock. The Raw star proceeded to hit 3 consecutive cross Rhodes to get a massive 3-count win over one of WWE's most dominant wrestlers. Rhodes is clearly back on track toward finishing the story, but what about Lesnar? Regarding what's next for Lesnar from a storyline perspective, there is no word on WWE's creative plans for the superstar. Who would you like to see Brock have a program with after SummerSlam? Sound off in the comments section below. The Rock to return to exact revenge on Roman Reigns for Jey Uso's loss at SummerSlam. Jey Uso collided with Roman Reigns in tribal combat for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at SummerSlam 2023. However, things didn't end well for main event Jey as he suffered a heartbreaking defeat in the encounter. The high-profile match kept going back and forth. However, Jimmy Uso's interference proved to be a deciding factor. The former tag team champion made his presence felt during the bout to cost Jey a win, seemingly turning heel in the process. With Jimmy apparently siding with Roman Reigns, no one is left in Jey's corner, but that could change if a former champion returns to WWE. The superstar in question here is none other than The Rock. The Brahma Bull was rumored to confront Roman Reigns at the biggest party of the summer. However, it didn't happen. Nonetheless, it could be that the Stanford-based promotion is saving the People's Champion's comeback for a later date. Meanwhile, Jey Uso has been emulating The Rock's famous strikes recently. Hence, it could be that the former right-hand man is foreshadowing the 17-time champion's return. If so, the creative team could have The Rock return to avenge Jey's loss at SummerSlam. The Hollywood icon could confront Roman Reigns and the rest of the bloodline for their recent actions, laying the foundation for a massive feud. As you may know, the tribal chief was rumored to put his world title on the line against The Rock at the grandest stage of them all this year. However, the dream bout failed to materialize due to undisclosed reasons. Later, in an interview with Jimmy Traina of TSI Media, Paul Heyman discussed the Brahma Bull not wrestling at Mania. The veteran manager said he couldn't imagine the People's Champion getting back in ring shape for a WrestleMania match given his tight schedule. I never spoke to Dwayne about this year's WrestleMania. I've always heard his name being thrown around. I couldn't imagine with his promotional schedule, the launch of the XFL, with all the projects that he has on his plate, that he would be able to take the time to get back into ring shape. Aesthetically, does anybody in Hollywood compare to him? No. Could he run a marathon? I don't know, maybe. I'm sure he has great cardio. But cardio itself and cardio in the ring and being in ring shape are completely different things. While the dream match between the pair didn't happen at Mania this year, it's not entirely off the table. Will The Rock return for a showdown against his cousin? Only time will tell. What was your reaction to Jey Uso's loss at SummerSlam? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Jimmy Uso's betrayal of Jey was years in the making. WWE fans were shocked, furious, and emotionally devastated when Jimmy Uso appeared at SummerSlam during the main event. Instead of helping his twin brother upon arriving, he shockingly did the opposite. Jimmy cost Jey the victory and proceeded to superkick him. While many are in disbelief over the betrayal, it isn't as random as some may believe. There are several reasons why Jimmy likely turned on Jey Uso, with one going back years. It all dates back to when Jimmy suffered a knee injury in 2020. 2020. The tag team expert hurt his leg during a triple threat ladder match at WrestleMania 36, and he was expected to miss 6 to 9 months of action. His absence led to Jey performing as a singles wrestler, becoming popular with the WWE Universe, and becoming a bigger star than his brother. Fast forward years later, and the proof is in the pudding. People called him Main Event Jey Uso, but they don't have a catchy nickname for Jimmy. Fans plead for Jey to win the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, but not Jimmy. When the older twin was taken out of action by Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, Jey again focused on being a single star. That includes winning the Tribal Chiefdom and a world title. While Main Event Jey Uso was definitely standing up for his twin too, Jimmy likely saw the move as selfish and traced it back to 2020. Many believe that Jimmy Uso may have returned to the bloodline following the events of WWE SummerSlam, but that isn't necessarily the case. In fact, the odds are against that happening. Jimmy already burned bridges with the group after viciously hitting Roman with super kicks in the past. He was also seemingly free of Reigns' manipulation before his surprise return in Detroit, Michigan. Beyond that, the Tribal Chief appeared genuinely shocked at what Jimmy did. As Uso walked up the ramp, Reigns stared at him with total disbelief. While it could be a ruse, it certainly didn't appear that way. Jimmy Uso likely attacked his brother out of jealousy, and he will have no more links to anybody in his immediate WWE family. This means he won't be on the side of Roman, Solo, or Jey. Of course, for now, all fans and insiders alike can do is speculate. It won't be until Jimmy Uso himself speaks that the entire WWE universe will know exactly what is going through his head. Jey Uso spotted crying uncontrollably after WWE SummerSlam 2023 went off air. WWE superstar Jey Uso was spotted crying his heart out after SummerSlam 2023 went off the air. At SummerSlam 2023, Jimmy Uso made his surprise return after a short hiatus. In a massive twist, Jimmy attacked his brother Jey and thus helped Roman Reigns defeat his cousin to retain the undisputed WWE Universal Championship along with the title of Tribal Chief. After SummerSlam 2023 went off the air, Jey Uso could be seen crying in the ring. At WWE Night of Champions 2023, Jimmy Uso finally snapped at Roman Reigns and attacked him. Mere days later, Jey made quite possibly the toughest decision of his life and left the bloodline as well. Jey chose his brother over Reigns and instantly became the hottest face in all of WWE. Jey received huge praise from all corners of the wrestling world for his performances on the mic as well as inside the ring. Here's what Corey Graves recently said about him on After the Bell. The promo that Jey cut on SmackDown was so impassioned, so believable. But what stood out to me more than anything was for years, superstars have complained about being plagued by the infamous what chants from the WWE Universe. Those chants, Stone Cold, Steve Austin started to annoy Mr. McMahon and whomever else Stone Cold was verbally sparring with. Jey Uso gave everything he had in an attempt to dethrone the Tribal Chief at SummerSlam 2023. In the end, his efforts died in vain courtesy of returning Jimmy Uso. Jimmy's turn to the dark side will certainly go down as one of the biggest heel turns in years. Jey would have never imagined that his own twin brother would ever betray him like that. What did you think of Jimmy Uso's return, followed by his heel turn at SummerSlam 2023? Sound off in the comment section.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for